maintenance calories are not set, especially my dog. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be diving a little deep into talking all about maintenance calories, what they are, what they mean, how to calculate them, and determining the appropriate amount of maintenance calories for your body specifically. So let's get to it. You may have heard the term maintenance calories, also known as TDEE, which stands for your total daily energy expenditure. Say that 3 times fast. So your TDEE, or your maintenance calories, is just that. It's the amount of energy in the form of calories that you need every single day in order to maintain your weight. So there are 4 components that make up your maintenance calories. The first one is your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that you burn completely at rest. So if you were to just literally lay in bed all day, not move, which sounds glorious, your body still burns a certain amount of calories every day just to keep the lights on, just to function. And a lot of people don't realize that. So this actually makes up the bulk, about 60% of your total daily energy expenditure. Now for most women, this number can be anywhere from 1,100 to 1,500 calories, give or take. And this number is directly correlated with how much lean body mass you have. So that's why you oftentimes can hear the phrase, the more muscle you have, the more energy or calories you burn, even at rest. That is because of your BMR. So that's the first component that makes up your TDE. The next one is NEAT, N-E-A-T, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So these are things that you do on a day-to-day basis without even really thinking about it, that you still burn calories from. So things like fidgeting, breathing, little things that we just do kind of every day, again, without giving it a second thought. That doesn't include your exercise. That is what we're going to talk about in just a few minutes here. Again, your NEAT is just your non-exercise activities, things like fidgeting, breathing, shaking your leg for those of you who work at desk jobs, things like that. The third component is TEF. So that stands for the thermic effect of food. And believe it or not, you still burn calories when you digest food. So different macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbs all have a different thermic effect of food. Protein is actually the highest, meaning that you burn far more calories digesting protein than you do carbs and fats. But again, this also plays into how many total calories you burn every single day. And then the last one is AF, or activity factor. You may have seen it with a couple of different letters, but it all stands for your activity factor or exercise. So this is the intentional exercise that you are doing. So whether you are going for a run or you're lifting at the gym, whatever that calorie range is that you're burning during that intentional exercise is what is going to fall under this last component, AF. So all 4 of these categories are what make up your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, aka your maintenance calories, and that is the total amount of calories that you burn every single day, but also the amount of calories that you theoretically then would be maintaining your weight on. A couple of different notes I did not want to forget to tell you guys about. Your maintenance calories are not set, especially post-diet. So if my maintenance calories are 2,100 calories at the body weight that I am at now, and I diet and lose however much weight I lose, whatever I get to as my goal weight, I am now going to have a new maintenance calorie. If I lost 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it was, because I'm at a brand new weight, my maintenance calories are not going to be 2,100 calories any longer. So I want you to keep that in mind. And then the next one too is maintenance calories do have ranges. So it may be common for you to stick to your maintenance calories of, let's say, 2,100 calories. The next day you ended up at 2,200 calories. The next day you were back down at 2,100 calories. And your weight pretty much maintains itself even though you're not hitting exactly what 2,100 calories every single day. We actually have anywhere from a 100 to a 300 calorie range that we can maintain our body weight at. So just wanted to throw that out there just so you guys know. So how do we find our maintenance calories? You guys have probably seen that there are tons and tons of options out online on the internet. With different equations, different formulas. A lot of the common ones are the Harris-Benedict formula, Mifflin-St. Jeor. What are some of the other ones? I'm drawing a blank, but there's a handful of different calculations, and they are most likely going to give you different numbers for calculating your maintenance calories or your TDEE. So the most important part is if you choose to use a calculator, just know that those are all estimates. There is no perfect TDEE calculator out there. There's no perfect number out there regardless. So these are all going to be estimations. I personally use the Mifflin St. Jeor one. That's just personal preference. That's what I've used for myself, for my clients. But regardless of whatever formula or calculation you want to use, just know that it's going to be a rough estimate and it will not likely be your exact true maintenance. But at least it gives you a ballpark of something to kind of shoot for, aim for. You could also take the average of 2 or 3 equations and kind of use that as your set point for your maintenance calories if you want to try it that way too. But the way I prefer and the best way to calculate your actual true maintenance calories is by tracking your intake, which I know some of you listening to this are gonna sit there and roll your eyes like, oh, I don't want to track my food. But if you really want to figure out what your body is truly maintaining its weight at, the only way to really see that is through tracking your food. So I would suggest at a minimum to track your food for a full 7 days. Get a food scale if you don't have one already. Weigh things out as accurately and as much as you possibly can. Try not to eat out a whole lot that week. And ideally, when you are going to track your intake for that 7 days, it needs to be a normal week in your normal life. So obviously you wouldn't want to do this when you're going on a vacation, or you know you're going to be going out to restaurants a lot that week, or you have a lot of social events coming up. Try to make it a full 7 days of just your normal day-to-day life so that you have the most accurate circumstances as possible to determine your true maintenance calories. So again, track for a full 7 days. Do daily weigh-ins as well, whether you want to keep that on a sheet of paper or in the notes section on your phone. But get the weekly average of all of your day-to-day weigh-ins. Maybe do it for another week and see what happens with the differences in those weekly averages. And if you maintain your body weight within 1%, that's basically maintaining your weight. And in that case, whatever those calories were for that week, the average, that is what your body is going to maintain its weight on. And obviously anything more than that you end up eating, it will probably make you gain weight. If you cut back from that calorie amount, you will likely lose weight. A really common question is, what if my true maintenance, which again you would have found on your own by tracking your food for a whole week at least, what if my true maintenance is lower than my actual calculation, or what if it's higher? There's a number of potential reasons and answers why this could be happening. And what I personally find in my coaching a lot with women is that their true maintenance is actually far less than their predicted calculation. I would say like 100 to 200 calories below or above your calculation is probably normal. But if you found that your calculated predicted maintenance is, let's just say 2100 calories, since we're already going with that number, but you have found that your body has maintained itself now on 1200 calories based off of your tracked reporting and food reporting, then that is a perfect scenario of somebody that I would walk through a reverse diet for, which is a completely separate video that I already have recorded for you on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. It's called How to Reverse Diet. But that's a really common situation, especially if you have been an avid yo-yo dieter, or you've been just falling on and off this never-ending hamster wheel of dieting, and you have basically gotten your body down to a point where it now maintains itself on such a low calorie amount, when in reality it should be maintaining itself on a much higher calorie amount. So just know that this most likely will be normal to some degree, but the most accurate way to find what your body is maintaining itself on is to track your food, get some data for your weigh-in, see how your body responds, either eat less or eat more depending on what those numbers are reporting, and make adjustments to your nutrition from there, just depending on what your goals are currently. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions on anything, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.